Hey guys, Short Midget here. I'm making a quick video on the first evolution of the DSG. So this is my DSG. It's my first, and it's the first step, which is basically I bought a custom gearbox for somebody that did a lot of tech work on it. Now, he didn't want to do any more. I got a steal on this. I got this gearbox for $150. $150, and it's a GMP shell Siege Tech sector. A Siege Tech sector is 65 new, and I got this for $150. It's incredible. But yeah, the Siege Tech sector, it came with the G&G bevel, which the G&G bevel, or spur, I meant. Sorry, this is the spur. I had a G&G spur as well. The one that I pulled out of his gun, it looked like the axle was bent, and when I spun it, I think it was this one, the bottom of the axle looks bent, and I spun it inside the gearbox shell and it was scraping against the bottom. So I grabbed my G&G one and tried it in there, and it was smooth. But then I thought, well, I have a VFC 16-to-1 spur, so I threw the self-shimming 16-to-1 spur in here so I can get some better performance out of it. So I did that. And then the bevel is XYT, and I shimmed it, and the bushings here are steel. They're not super secure in there. One of them's kind of loose. I forget which one. But I did shim them as far as there's no movement axial-wise. Now, I put a different trigger in here because this is going in something other than an M4, and I'm not going to tell you what yet because I'm going to buy a base gun. Actually, I will tell you. It's going in MP5, so this is an MP5 trigger. So I'm going to buy an Elite Force stock MP5. I'm ordering that tonight, actually, and it's just the competition, so the body's plastic. I'm going to throw this in there. I'm going to take it. I think I'll have to use the MP5 selector plate, so I'll use that on this, but this is going on in there. And in the old gearbox, I'm going to either sell or build it and just have some fun with it. So other parts in here, metal cylinder head, which is really needed. It's Lonex. I think this is a GMP nozzle. It's metal. I don't know what cylinder this is, but it's imported. Like they said, the GMP shell and MP5 trigger, a JBU high torque motor, which is actually only 18 TPA. So I'd rather have like a ZCI high torque that's like 22, because the rate of fire is insane on this, and I really don't want that high rate of fire. But I have a 7.4 here, and the gun does not function on a 7.4 very well at all. And this had a MOSFET in here. It had a infected armory MOSFET, and I had to take it out because the MOSFET was acting as resistance. For some reason, it was broken. It was heating up. It wouldn't work with anything but an 11.1 at all. It would not. It would lock up on any other battery. So when I took it out, it works with the 7.4, but it locks up eventually. It's something with the power, not too sure. So I'm ordering a 2,200 milliamp 11.1 35C LiPo. I'm going to wire it to Dean's. I'm ordering Dean's, and that's going to fit my MP5 stock. So I'm not using this battery because this is not going to fit in an MP5 stock. This is basically the same. It's just the one I'm buying for the MP5 is lower milliamp and lower discharge rate. So hopefully my rate of fire will go down a little bit. So let's try the 7.4 here. This is fully charged. This is for a gun that's going to be here tomorrow. I'm making a video on that. See, it just won't fire on semi. It just doesn't have enough power. And you can tell it starts to die. And I'm going to show you. I plug it in to this M4 here. This is an SSG. And as you can tell, it's not a dead battery at all. So something's up with just electrical. It's probably the contacts, but the contacts are stock. It looks like stock crap company, but I'm going to use an 11.1 without a MOSFET, and then I'm probably going to buy a NukeFET drop-in once these contacts burn out. And by that time they burn out, I'll probably have to replace my piston too. So 11.1 semi. I can't really test the trigger response because there's no trigger guard, so I can't put my finger in there and bounce it back and forth. But the trigger pull, I can bend the contacts so they touch sooner, but I don't think I will. But I pulled the trigger, and there's right there is the breaking point, which is pretty far back. So I think I'm gonna bend the contacts a little bit more so they touch sooner when I go to install it in the body, MP5 body. So the piston that's in here as well is SHS. It's AOE corrected. It's got Sorbo. It looks in great condition. But I've heard a few bad sounds. Sometimes it'll spin up and you'll hear some metal scraping, and I think that's just, yeah, I don't like it. Well, and also I hope the selector plate, when I get the selector plate in here, it all works well. But the gearbox itself works. So there's no internal working I need to do to this. Also, it has an M180 spring. It was an M190 cut. So, man, it's got some power. I wanted to use an M160 in here, but I'm not going to go buy another spring. So I think this is just what I'm going to use. Hopefully it'll break in. And also, if it was a weaker spring, it would shoot even faster. But, all right, here it is. Is incredible speed, and it starts to get hot up here just because of all the friction. The cylinder gets hot because that's like 40-45 rounds a second right there, and that's just incredible. That's not really what I want. I wanted about 40, 35, 40. It's incredible, but semi sounds great too. Alright, so that's the evolution. Not the evolution, that's just the introduction. Here it is. I'm ordering the base gun, like I said, pretty soon. Tomorrow I'm going to have a gun in here, and I have the short type ZCI balance to put in it because it has a burnout motor. So I'm going to put this in there mixed with the 13-to-1s. It's going to shoot nice. So I'm going to throw that in there, put this flash hider on there. And then this battery, this is a 7.4 1700 20-30C. I'm looking to get 25 rounds a second with this, with the balance motor with 13-to-1s. And I've been told that I should get that. So, we'll see. But, yeah, I'll make that video tomorrow when I get the gun in after school. This right here. I don't know when I'll get the MP5 in, but won't make a video of me installing it. I'll just get the work done, and I'll make a video after. Hopefully my mags will feed. I'm going to be using 95 round Elite Force plastic mid caps. Hopefully they'll feed. I don't know, the nozzle seems to cycle fine. I don't know how hard it's going to shoot either, but I wanted 40 rounds a second at 350 with .2s, but with the M180 it'll probably shoot a little harder, but I don't know, I guess it could shoot lower. I guess harder is a little bit better than lower. Anyways, if you have any questions, comment below. I will install this in my MP5. My old gearbox, I'll probably do some teching videos on it, just showing just the basics. I don't know, I'll show you how to shim it just as a kind of a trial gearbox. I'll probably do some experimenting with it, maybe do like a 9-tooth SSG, something like that. Just have some fun with it and see how it turns out. So if you have any questions, just comment below. Everything's fairly hot. The motor's not too bad, although it's just having a lot of current. This is a nice big battery with standard crappy wires. This is just standard, your stock crappy wire. But that's it. If you have any questions, comment below. I will do a shooting test on the P90 that's getting here tomorrow. That's what this stuff is for. I'll probably just do like a custom video because it's nowhere near stock, so I'm not going to do like a review shooting test. I'll just upgrade it and then test it out myself and then make a video of it. outside testing it and talking about what the internals are, and the exact same thing with this. But the stock MP5, I will make a shooting test review in chrono before I install this. Just the stock competition. I'll charge up that 9.6 that comes with it and try it out, because I don't have any other Tamiya batteries, and I'm actually going to sell that Tamiya battery to a friend for $15, so I'll be making some money from that as well. But if you have questions, again, just put it below. I really cannot wait till I get this DSG running. I hope it lasts. I've heard that low speed DSGs work really well, but this isn't really low speed, so I'm hoping to get 35 rounds a second with the that smaller 11-1 consistently. So we'll see if it, if the battery starts dying on me or whatever. But this battery is just a monster, and it just works. I mean, it drains the battery pretty quickly, but it is just an absolute monster. And I mean, everything's shooting at like twice the rate of fire of your standard SSG. At least my SSG is getting like almost 30 rounds a second, and this thing's getting like 50. So it's almost twice the speed. So obviously these bushings are gonna get hot, especially when your finger's on there. When they spin, it doesn't feel good. But everything's running at such a high speed, and it's been radiused here, so the gearbox shell will last. It's short stroked, so there's only 8 teeth, so the piston's not coming back very far, so it'll last even at that rate of fire. It's the GMP shells. They're pretty reinforced, or I mean, they're not really reinforced. That's what I meant to say. This portion here is not very reinforced, but it is strong material. The actual metal is quality. There's a GMP in this as well, and this thing's been through a lot of ammo. It has a micro crack on it, but this thing has been through a lot of ammo. So, at 22 rounds a second as well, on a full stroke M100. So it's pounds on that gearbox. So if you have any questions, just comment below. See you guys later.